YouTube. What is going on, everyone? AP's finest, No Title Productions. Finally, back with, I don't know if I'm calling this part 13 or if we'll just skip that, like, buildings, numbering floors and go to 14, maybe 12 point, I don't know, what was it, 1, so that would be 12.2. That doesn't feel right. This is a banger. So whatever this is called, it's nice to be able to film for you folks again. And yeah, I mean, got a lot of really, really cool stuff to show in this one. So let's jump into it. Let's start off with, the CM997 NUP from, hold on, wait for it, United Arrows, the OG that Kanye West made famous at Paris Fashion Week way back in like 2008, I want to say. These are the more famous pink and purple and gray edition that Ronnie has riffed off of with a couple of colorways of his own since. He's talked about these being like one of his all-time grails. The gray pair that is a companion to those I've shown a long, long time ago. They're in bad need of soul swapping like these already have. Yes, some of that pink 3M on the N is flaking, but to be expected. Just an amazing, amazing seminal pair in the archives, especially from the Japanese side of things, for sure. So United Arrows, 997Ns to start with. Then we're going to move over here. I guess I probably should have swapped them around because that's another 997N over there. But anyway, we've got the Concepts 997s from, I believe, like the tail end of last year, very beginning of this year. I wanted to point out that in the storytelling on these, which I do think is really cool with that kind of, like mixtape theme where the labeling and then the permanent marker writing on it, the pre-aging and scuffing on the midsole. Very, very cool. Very well done. I really enjoy them. I think they're cool. They do borrow very heavily from a previously used colorway on a very obscure, I want to say it's a 997H, or like the hybrid model, but my friend pointed them out to me, Terpy Kicks on Instagram, who is an absolute wizard with all the knowledge on this stuff, and shout out to him. But yeah, pointed out that they actually quite heavily borrow from that colorway. So, but they are very cool. I do think that they were well done. The material choice is really cool. And yeah, just another good effort from Concepts. So, all right, moving on. I guess probably the one that I should have put after those because they are the same model technically, but the CM997HNNs, the non-native 997 hybrid using that 998 outsole. These are from 2011. And again, motivator, progenitor, kind of the one that motivated a lot of the collaborative colorways that non-native and Kith ended up doing. The Dune series of like 997S's, and then that one really crazy 997 that uses like a bunch of different materials, like the pony hair on it and stuff. Those are all modeled off of and inspired by these. These are your OG ones with that awesome color of blue on the midsole on the medial side. So yeah, really, really cool. Legendary pair, non-native 997H. Moving on, another legendary Japanese Asian pair from back in the day, the CM998 GGYs from the first Junior Comme des Garçons collaborative effort on the 998, using that just legend navy gray color blocking. Nothing incredibly, elaborate. Obviously, they're just, the nubuck is still buttery soft on there. 3M is still reflective and reactive. Yes, heel's starting to give a little bit, but for being, I believe those are 2008 or 2009, again, just remarkable that they're holding up in the condition that they are. So, yeah. Comme des Garçons 998s, the Asia-made 998s limited editions. Now, one that people have seen, I want to say, but probably haven't really gotten to see up close too much. Another Japanese legend, the 998s with Nexus 7, basically mimicking the Timberland boot that is a New York City East Coast staple here in the United States, but these are the CM998 NXWs. And yeah, I mean, that unbelievable tan upper with the nubuck and the suedes. I mean, then the leather, chocolate leather liner. Yeah, just an incredible pair. Very rare, very hardly seen these days, and for sure in that wonderful wearable shape still. So, and I will get to him at the end, but yeah, Tom, as always, thank you for the alley-oop on a lot of these. All right, moving on. Now, going back to a set that is very, very important to me to complete. I'm still 2 away from it, the Barcelonas and the Melbournes, but the city store opening pairs that were done. I have the Berlins, the Milans, the Lisbons, and the Madrids that were all done up around like 2015, 16, that era, by the friends and family of the operators of those stores in those cities. They use the NV1 program to customize a very limited run of pairs. These are for the Paris store. The 998s for the Paris store, I believe one of 45. That is the physical address for their location at the time. I'm not sure it's there anymore still, but at the time it was at that location in Paris in the second arrondissement, I believe. But yeah, that kind of martini colored upper with the infrared hits on it, and the beautiful cuts of suede, and then the customizing on the back. Just an absolutely stunning pair. Really, really cool to add to the other 4 that I do have. I would love to end up with the Melbournes and the Barcelonas at some point, but those are even rarer than all the other ones that I've got so far. Much tougher to track down. So really blessed to finally have those. And again, thank you, Tom, for the assist. So, all right, another one. Going back again to a previous video and another pair, the dark charcoal Saks Fifth Ave 998s. These are the light gray, Nimbus gray, if you want to call it, Saks Fifth Ave 998s. Just beautiful, beautiful shade of gray to go with those, I would call it infrared pink or red hits on the reflective 3M tongue, and then the upper on the toe box, and then that really dark, almost like blood red suede on the ankle collar and the toe box, and then the yellow accenting colors around it. Just magnificent. Not really sure, something around 100 pairs, I believe, for each colorway. So again, incredibly rare, and very blessed to have finally tracked down the other half of a set that I had one of previously. So yeah, Saks Fifth Ave, we'll call them Nimbus Cloud Gray infrared 998s. So okay, swinging it around here, don't get sick. We're gonna do a run of 991 V2s. Really amazing year for the model, and yeah, I was, as I've mentioned before, a bit of a late convert to it. Cling very highly to the OG 991. I'm very near and dear to my heart. But yeah, they just took it and they tweaked it, made it more comfortable, more livable, and everyday kind of pairs. But yeah, some of the individual releases that they did this past year were remarkable. And I'll start with a very rare one, the Verdi and Dover Street Market 991. Verdi is that Japanese artist that worked with Nike a few times. He did the Visti Dunks last year, those really like bright colored fluffy ones, because of the toy, the companion toy that he's associated with. I believe that one of them's name is Verdi or Visti or whatever that is. But anyway, he did a very, very limited run of these at a pop-up at the London Dover Street Market, somewhere in the city. I'm not 100% sure. But I just like the way that they flipped the font on the V2 and 991s on the back quarter panels, and then obviously the Verdi logo there, VK, and then the DSM stitching on the buttery leather tongue. And I actually swapped the alternate laces for those onto these, and I think it looks pretty cool, because otherwise they're a bit plain. I won't act like they're not, but still very cool pair. So, and then one that I believe is definitely a firm contender for shoe of the year, sneaker of the year amongst New Balances last year are these Up There Store 991 V2s, the Black Fridays, using that carbon fiber streaked leather paneling on the upper that you only seeing quite high-end pairs from the past. Those green hints for the up there, tie-in. I love the upside-down made in England stitching, and then the 6-1 for the country phone code dialing down there. And then the gum bottoms with that green fuel cell hit through the middle of them. Tons of cool lace options too. I went with the reflective black laces, but the grays look really good in there too. So up there store, 991 V2s, and then last of the three, the reverse Mocha, Catharis, Danielle Cathari Mochas. These were done, I believe, as a bit of a collaborative release with Kith last fall, early winter, I believe. I do not have the original Mochas. I wish I did. Very, very limited run in women's only sizes, so to find a 10.5 men's is quite difficult. But I'm still on the hunt. But they do look really cool. I'm not gonna front on them. I do like the the stitching, personalized stitching on the tongue. That mocha accenting color underneath with the chocolate on the outside, and then matcha. Excuse me, I keep saying mocha. Excuse me. But these the reflective 3Ms on there, and then I took the kind of flat dark green laces and put them in from another pair to kind of just give it a bit more color. I'm still not decided on which lace choice I'd like to go with on those. They do have a speckled lace option that comes with them that's pretty cool. But yeah, nice one. Would love to pair them with the originals, but for now we'll rock with those. So all right, gonna move it over here. Forgive me. We are going to start with the ALD Porsche 993s. Now, these were, I'm pretty sure, a pre-order that was finally fulfilled towards the tail end of last year. And yeah, again, with the actual ALD models, not the, made in Teddy Santis inline models, but the actual ALD pairs, the extra level of detailing, I really appreciate. I think that really chunky metal hang tag, like key tag basically, mimicking like an old key tag or keychain that you would have with Porsche keys, I think. But then the ALD hit on the back, just that nice, what do they call that? Shade of green, like forest green or pine green, but that unbelievably soft suedes throughout the upper. I put both lace options in, as I tend to do a lot of the time when I can't make a choice on which one I like more. But I love that 993, that Porsche font, 993 on the back of there. That's what I thought was on there. And then the yellow leather liner, the perforations, just a beautiful, beautiful pair. One that dropped a while ago that I just never got a chance to film in the gap between the last one and this one. But the Madison Square Garden 993s, the gray pair. I am a huge fan of these, I am not a big fan of the dark navy pair. And I know that there's a big kind of split amongst people that prefer one or the other. But yeah, I just think that they knock these out of the park. Just again, in keeping with like the 991 V2s and the 990 V6s that he did, using that color scheme correctly or well placed, well blocked. And I think those orange speckled laces just really set that off perfectly. So Madison Square Garden Kith 993s, the light gray pair. All right, now a model that you have not seen me show off before, and one that I am a bit late to in terms of enjoying the comforts, the specs of. But I said this to Sam Dobkowski recently, that I would recommend a 920 to a lot of people that are looking to try a new model but are not sure which they might be interested in. Made in England model, but using a lot of like 990 V3 and V2 esque tooling to give you that really comfortable toe box, just the end cap V3 looking outsole. I'm not sure if that's a one-to-one match, but it looks pretty close. These are the sneakers and stuff pair. Before I get talking about the model too much and ignore the specifics, very, very nice. I love the contrast of those oranges and like that almost burnt orange at the top with the dark greens, and then just a little bit of yellow on the stitching and some of the other accenting hits, the inside of the ends, bordering of the ends, or whatever you want to call it, and then the black leather on the heel cap right there. Very, very nice. Very nice. Next to the Dover Street Market and Metro Transit Authority collaboration on the 920. So the MTA is like the subway department and the people that run the trains and the buses. I'm almost positive down in New York City, if I can recall back to my days living in Queens years and years ago. But these, yeah, were a Dover Street exclusive, like released at Dover Street, but obviously collaborated with MTA. I love the logo stitching in the back, the way that they did it, sort of like with the negative space. Came with, or should have come with, a Union Jack and a United States flag Dubray. Only came with 2 Union Jacks for me, so okay. So went with that, but I am preferable to the blue laces, I think. I just think they make it stand out with the, you know, the insole and the stitching on the tongue really, really well. But just a super, super cool gray New Balance that kind of does its own thing. The reflective paneling underneath is a really nice touch too. They light up when they're hit with the flashlight, excuse me, on the 3M. So, and then the last one of the 3 today are with the upside down Dubray put in there. Yes, I know about that. The Paperboy Paris and Beams 920s. Doing the Beams thing of taking the panels, swapping them dark to light on opposite pairs, or you know, left to right. But I think it works really cool. It's subtle, even the lace options, like that's slightly darker gray than that one. But yeah, I just think they are, along with the reflective panels on the uppers, just very, very cool. Very nice pair. Actually looks really good with a lot of different combinations of outfits. So another kind of interesting gray that does its own thing, the Paperboy Paris and Beams 920s. Okay. Trying to pick up the pace here for you guys a little bit. These 2 are quite old, quite old. And the one over here is actually tagged as a factory sample, but these are the, does anybody remember, is old enough like me to remember Kicks TYO or Tyo? I could never remember, like, I never knew how that was pronounced, so forgive me. But the ones that did like those t-shirts that had the Japanese models on them, wearing like a specific bikini matching like a, usually it was like a Jordan, like an OG Jordan, like an Infrared 6 or a Cement 4 or something like that. They were really big in the scene. I think they released a magazine or something like that, a Zion or something like that back then over there. But they ended up collaborating with G-Shock from Japan's G-Shock department on a set of 574s that also came with a G-Shock. I do not have that one, but very, very cool with the variations, the speckled leather, the patent leather in the upper parts, those cool rubberized lace Dubrays at the front, and then the limited edition stitching on the, not on the tongue, but on the heel quarters. And like I said, these are actually technically a factory sample. So pretty cool. Very hard to find individually, let alone as a set. Wish I had the G-Shock, but I don't. But still, very cool. Kicks TYO, G-Shock 574 collabs. All right, moving on to some more 574s. And here, the first one up, seen in the shorts video I've done for them recently, but the Nice Kicks from 2013, My Oh My 574s, paying homage to the 1995 American League Division Series win by the Seattle Mariners over the New York Yankees back then. That would have been like Ken Griffey Jr., Jay Buhner era. I think Randy Johnson was on those teams, beating like the Don Mattingly Yankees before they became like the evil Empire Dynasty at the end of the decade. But one of 95, I believe, just, you know, low key, but well done. Well done, using that teal, Mariners teal green with the black and the gray paneling, and then those speckled laces, just a nice little touch. Yeah, I love 574s. No one will ever talk me off 574s, and I just think that's another really cool, somewhat niche, it's throwback for sure, but a really nice pair, and still fully wearable as well. So, Nice Kicks, My Oh My 574s. Now we go to the Ball and Buck, gray and duck camo, or excuse me, gray and duck camo, not gray and duck camo, green and duck camo 574s. I was lacking these for the longest time. Ended up coming across this pair on eBay, and as I've been told by a few other people in the comments that they were also interested in them, but sorry guys, you snooze, you lose. 20 of 176. Yeah, seen better days, you know, so that suede is a bit roughed up, but you can't beat that duck camel cloth on the ankle collar and the toe box, and then that safety orange hit on the back. Glad that they have the orange insoles in them as well. Happy to have the metal stamp tag as well. Wish I could get that that metal box that it came with, but yeah, who knows how many of those they made or where they ended up. But yeah, ball and buck, green and camo 574s. So this pair is not a release. I want to say that now. I want to be I want to be consistent as I show you guys this. This is a custom by a very famous former customizer. His name was, I believe, PK Zuniga or Zuniga. Forgive me for the pronunciation on that. And he ended up making these 574s for Raekwon. Customized for Raekwon with the tag and then the patches, the W patches, stitched and glued onto the shoe. Red New Balance stitching on the black back panels. That unbelievable soft it is. It's for an older cut of suede. It's still really, really nice, really soft. That yellow up front, a 1 of 1. No, they're not my size, unfortunately. They're slightly too big for me. But again, I'm an all-time Wu-Tang fan. I saw them when ODB was on the run from the marshals, and he came out on stage down in New York City and ran on stage saying the police were after him, and then ran back off stage. Like, I'm that old, and I've seen them that many times. Living in upstate New York and having lived in New York City for a time, but yeah, an incredible piece, just one that I'm willing to, repair. There is some separation that's starting to happen, but willing to repair just to be able to display and have in nice shape. For this, I feel like some pairs like that are worth, just the, almost like a trophy aspect of it, but more for display. Just an incredible piece of New Balance collaborative history, customization history, excuse me, I was searching for the other C word there. But yeah, just an awesome pair. The Raekwon 1 of 1 custom 574s. So, let's see. I want to go up here to show you guys these. You've seen them in a previous shorts video, but the Microphone Underground Nitro 574, the some people call them the Lakers. I think they're probably more Lakers than they are the ones that I see them as, with the peanut butter and jellies as well. Yes, they are starting to decay. They are in need of a sole swap, which they will be going to get after the completion of this video. But very, very rare Asia-made 574 from long ago. I believe the only collaborative effort from Microphone Underground with New Balance. I know they're very famous for the One World Air Force One project that they did years and years ago. But yeah, these are, I need these fixed because of that yellow midsole with that purple and yellow NB heel plate. So yeah, fingers crossed we can fix those, because those are very rare, very hard to find. Next up, similar vein, Fiber Ops 574s. Fiber Ops was, at the time that these were produced, a sort of collaborative subsidiary of Hypebeast over in Asia and Japan. And these were done, I can't forget, like 2009, 10, something in that range. But, just the color choices, the pastels, the pinks, as you can see here. And then that pink outsole, like sort of like mauvish pink outsole. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that baby blue leather tongue. Fiber Ops 574s, another very rare, hard to come across Japanese 574. Okay, which way are we gonna go? I think we'll stay up here and do these. Okay, these are in line with the Ninja 993s. I did a short, again, a while back around Christmas about these and the Ninjas. One of the rarest, hybridized for sure, pairs. This is a 993 upper with a 992 midsole, done for the Commonwealth Games competing England team at the Commonwealth Games that were held in Delhi, India in 2010. I always want to say England after Delhi. I have no idea why. And remarkable for, again, that triple branding, triple stitching, stamping, whatever you want to call it, the England at the toe cap, Delhi 2010 on that nubuck tongue, and then my favorite, the England stitched heel. Yeah, they are, you know, a little rough on the midsole. Those old 992 midsoles tend to get kind of yellowed after a while, but they're fully wearable, fully wearable. Wore them the other day for over an hour, actually, and yeah, maybe we'd like to bleach or clean some of the yellowing on the mesh under the tongue, but other than that, really, I mean, just even the leather cut itself is, I mean, the pebbling you can see there, very, very nice. Just an incredible piece. I'm not sure exactly how many were made for the team, somewhere between 25 and 40, and yeah, just another remarkable piece of their history that I'm very happy and proud to have. So 992/93 hybrid for the 2010 Commonwealth Games England team. Mouthful. All right, moving on. 992 traditional. These are the, you know what, guys, forgive me for not remembering all of the goofy names that he's put on some of these. Is it the Perpea or something like that? I forget, but I'll look it up and put it on the description and the notes and whatever. But I do like purple. I like purple shoes if they're done well, and I think that these are done well. I like them more than the, what was that, the Tiger Eye 992s. Do not have those, but yeah, these are nice. I've worn them a couple of times. Getting a bit of fatigue from action. I don't have the 1890s that he recently did, either of those. No beef with anybody that enjoys them. I think that is a cool pivot from him. Not my cup of tea, but yeah, I thought that this one, as I said before they dropped, I thought they were kind of dividing opinion on the early images from them, and cool that he made so many pairs so that people that wanted them could get them. But be interesting to see where he goes from here after the 1890s, what he's got coming next. I think he wore them on court or on the Knicks game recently. There was some odd model that nobody's seen yet, so we will see. But all right, moving down here, let's do another Asia exclusive 580. Actually, these are the MT 580 T4s, and I call these the Seattle Seahawks actually because of their color blocking. I just think that from an era of Asia made or Asia released 580s that between the GRs and then the collaborations from, you know, the usual suspects like Mita and Mad Hectic and all of them, just so many really, really well done pairs. The cut of leather on these is really nice. Those accenting colors on the mesh, and then the roll bar midsole, and then just the right amount of green hits there to sort of make it stand out. Not often seen, but the T4 MT 580s. Okay, speaking of Mad Hectic and Mita and those good people, I don't know 100% what number these are. They're like 13 or 14 or somewhere in that range of collaborative releases. There are so many out there that were released either in like singles or doubles, and I think even maybe like a couple of them had 3 colors released. But yeah, the details for these for me are awesome. I love that magenta pink on the mesh, and the ankle collar, toe box, all that. Then those neon rope laces are just such a nice touch with the gray and the black base, and then that nice kind of neon or lighter green end there with the textured effect. It's like a rubber on there. Yeah, just another very cool Asia exclusive Mad Hectic and Mita collaborative 580. So moving to another set of Asia collaborations. These are CM999's, the Left Foot and Mita Animal Pack. These are falling apart, so forgive me. You can probably see them in the box. I've got them. Vintage Soul Swap required, for sure. So don't look at these as something to be judged in their current condition. I know it's not too difficult not to, but just a wild pair, honestly. And I don't have a problem showing them off cooked up like this, because I will figure out a way to have them swapped out. And I just find the effort, what they decided to do. I believe these are called the gray rat or gray mouse, I forget. But even the, like, balding the corners of the heel cap with this sort of pony hair effect for like the balding spots on like mice and rats, it's just like crazy. This like really, that's not from where. That's how they would have appeared like fresh out the box. That nap suede up here, that logo for the pack, the Beast pack, and in there, the teeth. And then these have limited edition numbering on them for whatever reason. Those over there, the lion heads, same group or same release. Left Foot and Mita, these are in much better shape overall. I think they also look good. As you can see, the cracking starting to develop there. But the kind of nylon-esque, mesh-esque toe box there with the leather and the reflective nylon in the middle, sort of grayish black nap on the upper there with that crazy cement pattern. And the midsole and the red, and then the craziest part is this part of the tongue is like a reflective 3M purple to go with this really nice suede, purple suede tongue at the top. But absolutely wild looking pair from the same pack. So I just figured, like, to show you how nutty some of the stuff was even way back in the day. The Mita and Left Foot 999 Animal or Beast pack. I don't know what they were officially called, but yeah, those two. Very interesting. So moving on to a more reasonable looking and legendary pair for sure. These are the OG Kennedy Hyannis Blue 999s, the Made in Asia pair, not the Made in USA's, as you can see from that sort of slightly banana-esque shape to it, and the nylon on the back here on the blue instead of the stitched suede that was done on the 2017 remake that was Made in USA version. So yeah, very proud to have these finally to go along with the remade version. The originals are getting much harder to find these days. So yeah, gorgeous. OG 2011, Frank the Butcher designed, Made in Asia produced, Kennedy 999 from Concepts. So moving on to the last 999 today, legendary pair, the Asia Grays with the yellow, well, they are yellow now, but gold and yellow accents on them. That little blue, famous Asian blue through the midsole. These are just beautiful looking. The Asia made 999s from a while back. Love the shape of them. I do. I just think they're really, well maintained. They have just a great look about them. And it's a shame that these as well, being Asia made, they did that little bowing effect on the upper. I wish they'd kind of stayed a little bit more in this shape, but either way, beautiful. Gonna need another sole swap soon. It's starting to give in the back, but a gorgeous looking 999 from their archives for sure. So okay, now what am I gonna do to finish this puppy up? We've got a few left. Go back here. So these are the 576 from the racing pack that included the Ferraris in them, are probably the more famous of them from that set. These are the British Racing Green / Jaguar 576s. They use, those like chrome kind of like engine stamped style Dubrays. The speedometer on there. There's a tack. I think it's a speedometer. And the little red racing stripe on the back. I love that. just a tiny little hit back there. Look at the 3M on these. I mean, these are, I'll have to verify and make sure, but these have got to be at least 15 years old. And that leather is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And 3M is still reactive and hanging on there for the most part. Yeah, these are beautiful. Really, really cool. Look great with like jeans, and just kind of like a subtle outfit that you want to have a little bit more class to. But yeah, the British Racing Green Jaguar 576 is from the race car pack. All right, another legendary 576 that I say legendary. Hardly anybody's heard about these, so very rare for sure. But the No Void Plus 576, yeah, that janky looking number is a 1, number 10 out of 48. But the details on these are awesome. Awesome. That sort of reptile skin leather there. When I say that is soft, that is like handbag soft leather there, folks. The neon green accenting colors with the laces, and then the stitching on the tongue, obviously the tag, and then that little tiny bit of really soft nubuck suede on the heel, that lime green, and then the sort of aqua-esque liner to it. Beautiful, beautiful. No Void Plus 576 is No Void was or is a Parisian boutique. It usually does like menswear, like refined clothing. Okay, another 576. These are from Offspring, the Covent Garden pack from 2010. Again, Offspring being a collaborative partner that a lot of OGs will smile when hearing the name brought up. Rest in peace to them now. But back in the day, they did a 3-pack of 576s that used a really cool combination of nylons, suedes, and then reflective 3Ms that outer ends on the pack had like a suede end, and then the inners had a 3M reflective one that kind of matched with the bordering on the ankle collar for the 576. But these are the predominantly red and blue, or red and gray, excuse me, with the blue accenting ones. There was another that was like blue, mostly blue with red and gray. But the kind of main standout feature was the map of the area around Covent Gardens and Neal Street, where their location was back then. Their flagship location was in London. And very, very rare as 576s go, as Offspring stuff goes these days. And yeah, Covent Garden Offspring 576s. Okay, getting to the end here, folks. Finally, I promise. These are from Sneakers and Stuff. These are the Eric 577s from round 3. So Sneakers and Stuff, very well-known, famous Swedish collaborative partner from back in the day. And they had released a series of pairs on 577s. I think that was all on 577s that were done by their 2 co-founders. One guy name was Peter and the other was Eric. Peter's choices for this third iteration of the pack, third round of the pack, was really dark black and mostly just blacked out colorway. And this was Eric's attempt, which I love. Joker-esque again, and I love how we keep coming back to that theme in some of these older colorways. But yeah, definitely Joker-esque a bit there with the greens and the purples. Then that wash teal nubuck upper, which is as soft as the day it was made. And then one of my favorite parts are the differing colors that they did on the stitching. So for every E on the stitching, on the tongue, even down here in the end cap, he colored the E's in for his name, Eric, and then did the different colors on the 577. Just think that's such a cool little touch. There is an even rarer pair than these that I believe was done in single digits that has his name, ERIK, stitched somewhere amongst these letters and numbers up here. Don't have those. It's okay. These are rare enough, hard enough to find, and absolutely beautiful. And I'm very blessed to have them. There they are, the colored E's on the back as well. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful. Round 3, Sneakers and Stuff 577, the Eric editions. And to finally wrap this long marathon up, we're going to go over here to the NYC Marathon 990 V3s from the New York Runners Club. These are companion to the Big Apple, the blue and orange V3s that I showed you a while back. Forget the years, folks, forgive me. I'll go back in and, and look as I'm editing this. I want to say these were 2014s or 13s. They were the year opposite of what those blue V3s were for the New York City Marathon. But I just think that's, you know, the lace lock there. I showed you the logo for the New York Runners Club, and then can't forget the little NYC apple in the back. And then those reflective gold hits on the end and the back and the heel cap. Just, yeah, real nice, real classy. Cool to add to that marathon-themed collection or sub-collection, I guess. All right, these I wanted to save kind of towards the end because I know some of you guys out there are aware of the Shoe City and Eat collaborations on the V4 and the V5. I've shown you my pair of V4s in the past. Don't have the V5s. Was never a huge fan of the way they block those with the darker charcoal or almost black as the base color. But if you go and look up the photos for that release, you know, the blurb that was done on all the sneaker blogs and websites for that release of the V5s, you will find the founder of Elevate All the Time, EAT. I believe it's either him or the Shoe City founder, one of them. The founder of one of those two of the collaboration, standing in the middle of the Shoe City store where the release was happening with a bunch of people holding up pairs. And if you get the full shot of his outfit from that day, he's got, it's a very grainy photo, but he's wearing these on feet. And there's nothing at all on the internet mentioned about them other than that photo. But turns out that they were a real thing that he had produced as a very limited friends and family run to sort of test the color blocking of the blue, yellow, and red over the, you know, the grays, that he put it on the V3 the year before he started working on the V4 with New Balance as an official release. So these are the friends and family unreleased 990 V3s from Shoe City and Eat in my size, in wonderful condition, with those awesome yellow laces there to complete the tri-colored set on there. I think they look amazing. It's more muted than you would imagine until you get them in hand because of how much the gray caging on the V3 sort of overlaps over everything. But I just think it's an amazing pair, kind of the purest form of what that vision of Eat Shoe City color blocking is or was. And yeah, I'm just, as I say with all of these, I'm incredibly blessed to have finally been able to add them. And yeah, I remember seeing the photo of it and sending it to Tom and being like, no way, these are a thing. These are out there. They're somewhere. There's a pair out there. And he hit me back months later with just a photo of them. And I almost crashed my truck driving when I got it. So be careful when you get texts from your friends about sneakers and stuff like that. You know, make sure that you're practicing road safety as you do. But yeah, just stunning. And Tom, like I said, I want to thank you properly right at the end of this. So let's get this done with the last pair. Maybe even more awe-inspiring than those, the Woodwood 670s. Now, Woodwood being another of those OG collaborative partners from Europe, a boutique from Copenhagen in Denmark that has done a couple of projects with New Balance, but these were from 2007, and I mean, there's not a ton to say about them. Like I've said about a few pairs in the past that I don't want to talk over and ruin. Just amazing looking. And if you've been into the brand, you've probably seen a list with these on them in some capacity in terms of like, you know, greatest collaborative shops or greatest European collaborations or whatever. They're one of those kind of like Black Tom, Purple Devil type pairs that you just, you know, when you see them right away. And one of 96 made back in 2007, and they are, as C-caps are wont to do, they are still in fully wearable condition. Put these on right now and go walking outside if I choose. And the materials and the color blocking is just perfection itself. That nylon orange liner, the the outline of the navy, and this nubuck is as soft as any that they've ever produced. I'll stand on that. It's remarkable. And then the purple suede paneling underneath, it just sort of sits under everything. And then on the tongue, 670s are slept on. You don't see them very often anymore. I admit I don't have very many. I think I have the Year of the Rat somewhere down in the stacks as well that it has to be dug up. But yeah, these were one that I always said to myself, like, you need to get these, just because if you have a bunch of this other stuff, like, these have to sit beside them at some point, you know. And again, Tom, thank you as always for a lot of this stuff. Yeah, the Argyle socks with the wood hit on them. Just a really cool piece de resistance for them. So that is it, folks, for this part. We're going to call it part 14. F it. I just decided right now. Part 14 in the books. I thank you for every bit of your support and your interaction that you've ever shown me in any of the videos over the years. And this is going on now like year 4 of making these videos. Crispy Coil, wherever you are, bro, shout out to you. And I hope you're well. I hope you're doing all right. It's sad that you're no longer making videos or whatnot, but I just hope you're doing well yourself as a human, because he was the one that really motivated me way back when to collect, to maintain the collection, to not just, you know, flip them and, you know, use one to get the next, but to actually compile them or, you know, stack them up, because I love this brand. I love this brand. I love all the different ways that this brand has stamped its authority on sneakers and on design language of sneakers, on fashion, on, you know, the discussion and the, you know, the narrative around sneakers, especially in the last 5 years. Shout out to Sam, all the people that have gotten into the brand recently. You have to start somewhere. So there's absolutely no hate for me for anybody. If you just started, you know, wearing a pair of gray 574s today, you're the man or the woman. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you start. It doesn't matter if you've got, you know, 550 pairs, if you've got 5 pairs, if you've got, you know, anything in between. It really doesn't. It's just about your passion for the brand, how it makes you feel when you put on a pair of them every day and with whatever you put them on with, and what you do when you wear them and how that makes you feel. And yeah, from people like Crispy Coil way back in the day. I wish I could bump some OG Snoop or some Biggie, but I'll get this copyright strike. So we'll just talk until we're done. But Tom, thank you. You are the greatest collector of all time in my eyes. To not only have what you have for your own personal collection, but to have all of the pairs that you've had pass through your hands, to me personally, to other people that I know in the community that are also big time collectors. It's just, he can't be beat. So if you want to say like, I'm the GOAT, or, you know, I'm the man, whatever, like, I really appreciate that. I don't believe it myself, but there are others out there that are just as passionate and just as intense about this, with unbelievable stashes themselves. And anybody's consideration for me being one of the better collectors doing this is fine enough for me, because that's all that really matters, is just to be considered somebody with that level of interest in this and the dedication to finding this stuff and maintaining it, wearing it, talking about it, all that. So everybody, you have a blessed rest of your day, blessed year. There's a lot to feel sad about in the world right now, and I'm not going to get all political, but I just feel like, again, as I said in the end of my last video, this is community, this is connection, this is, you know, finding friendship with people that you never would have thought you would have before over something as simple as sneakers or a sneaker company. So let's tap into that and let's stay close with each other, and you know, remember that we're all on this rock for a reason. We're all here to share it and to get along with each other, right? So enjoy this, guys. I'm not sure when the next one will be. There's a couple floater random things that I just couldn't get to today that I'll try to stick into maybe like a part 14 extras in the coming weeks if I can. But enjoy this. Enjoy all the other parts if you haven't seen them already, or if you like watching them over again. I appreciate any of the support. So before this hits 50 minutes, I will say be good to each other, and until the next one, peace out.